Thank you so much for coming today, for taking the time out of your day to join us. I am super, super excited about this webinar, guys, and to discuss how we can gain TEFL experience in this industry, whether it's to improve your confidence, to improve your CV, or to nab your dream job. Sometimes some jobs will ask for prior experience, so this is crucial. So I'm really excited to be here today, guys. My name, if you don't know, is Jessica. I am the recruitment specialist here, and I'm joined by my colleague Olivia, who is actually going to dive into the training that we can offer as well as new teachers. So I'm really looking forward to our webinar today. I just want to start off actually, guys, just asking you a question. So, are you more interested in gaining experience online or in the classroom going abroad? So, if you want to put in the chat here, tell me, are you more interested in teaching online or abroad and why? I'd love to hear. Just a note there, guys, as well, you are being recorded in this webinar because we want to share with everybody on YouTube. So if you're not comfortable sharing your faces, you can turn off your camera now. Also, just to note, any noise interruptions can happen. So if you just keep yourself on mute if there's any noise in the background, okay? Let's have a look and see what you guys are interested in. Oh, there's a lot of online. That's really interesting. Yeah, fantastic. Oh, someone said the physical classroom. Yeah, to engage with students one-on-one, face-to-face, especially after COVID. I think everyone's dying to get back into the classroom again. Yeah, develop relationships, absolutely. Online and private. Not confident enough for the classroom. Yeah, absolutely, Elizabeth. We're going to talk a bit more about that as well, the differences between gaining experience in both areas. But that's a fantastic point as well because it does take that extra bit of confidence to face the classroom too. All right, guys. Before I start and I dive in, I just wanted to give you guys a little gift for attending this webinar today, but I just ask you for a favor in return. We would absolutely love, me and Olivia would love if you could leave a review of this webinar on Google. And in return, if you send us your review, we will send you a free lesson planning guide. Okay. Absolutely free, no strings attached. We just ask that you write a lovely review about ourselves on Google, and in return, we will send you the guide. So, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pop the steps in the chat there. If you can see, I can share that again later if you do miss it, but we'd really appreciate it, guys, if you did, because we want more and more people to come to these webinars. We want to keep running them and keep making them better and better. Okay. All right, so I'm just going to quickly just a summary of what we're going to cover today. So, firstly, we're just going to discuss the different ways that you can gain experience in the TEFL industry. I'm going to cover gain experience online and also abroad in the classroom, essentially. Then I'm going to pass it over to my lovely colleague Olivia, who's going to discuss about our virtual teaching practice course. If you're not ready to approach working first, we do have training to provide you with that real teaching experience. And then at the end, guys, we're going to do our usual Q&A session at the end. Feel free to pop the questions in the chat as well, okay? And we will try our very best to get to all the questions. Feel free to shout out a question as well if you're feeling brave. But guys, just as a reminder about noise disruptions as well. So I may not be able to hear the person ask the question if there's background noise, okay? All right. Okay, guys. So, firstly, what are the ways that we can gain experience in the TEFL industry? So, firstly, I wanted to just talk through unpaid opportunities. Okay, so typically, when you do want to gain experience and you're trying to look for work, usually we would go and volunteer. Okay, so if we were looking at going abroad, possibly, which I'm going to get into a bit more about an opportunity that we do have that you can do to teach abroad and volunteer. You can teach locally as well in local community centres, refugee organisations, or even online as well. just to help you build your confidence and your teaching skills. Another way, of course, is internship programs, which you may have heard of before. These can be done at language centers or also TEFL course providers, okay, such as ourselves. This will give you more hands-on teaching experience and could actually lead to paid positions as well. So that's just something to consider. All right. And then thirdly, you could look at becoming a teaching assistant in the classroom, so a co-teacher, which I think is a fantastic opportunity because if you don't feel confident enough to be the classroom leader, this is a really great chance to learn from your co-teacher who would be very experienced, but don't feel alone in the classroom either, especially if it have a huge group of kids to teach. Okay, so there are just some ideas on how you could gain experience. Firstly, I'm just going to dive into getting experience online, okay? And just a reminder there, guys, if you do have any questions, you can interrupt me as well if you want to shout it out. Or as I said, we do have the chat feature there. We'll try myself or Olivia to answer it the best we can. Um, yeah, so I have a question there. 10 hours practicum, the only one available. I've seen also 35 and 40 hours practicums listed among the courses, but it looks like they're not available anymore. So actually not sure what you're referring to exactly, Elizabeth. 35 and 40 hours practicums. Um, Maybe if you want to shoot us an email after the webinar just to specify exactly which courses they are. But we do offer the 10-hour teaching practicum at the moment, which Olivia is going to dive into very shortly. Okay. So if
Okay,
you
thank
are looking at, no problem, if you're looking at gaining experience online, what are the advantages? Okay, so perfect. Firstly, this is absolutely perfect for new teachers. Okay, you're just qualified. You have never taught in your life, never approached the classroom. I think this is a great way to start your TEFL career if you are still feeling a bit nervous about teaching. I think that, teaching on camera, especially, you can still have all your notes in front of you and there's no students can see that. You can have your cheat sheet in front of you. So that is the difference between teaching online and in the classroom as well. There's no hiding in the classroom. And as well, of course, teaching online, you can teach anywhere in the world. You're not limited to one place. Okay, so that could be really advantageous. Um, of course, you can, a lot of the time, you can set your own pay rate. Okay, so you can decide what you're going to be paid per hour. And you can also set your own lesson expectations. All right. So if you do feel, you've never taught in your life, you're really not 100% there with the grammar, which a lot of us are, you can actually start off just teaching conversational English. Simply ask them, how was your weekend? Tell me about your job. Tell me about your family. So really simple stuff. But through that lesson, that half an hour, talking about their hobbies, their life, you can get in some really good correction, which is really what students are looking for, is they want to be corrected and they want that immersion experience as well. So really at the end of the day, that's their goal, isn't it? They want to have conversation with English speakers. So that's, I would never underestimate the value of conversational English. And it's a great stepping stone if you do then want to progress onto specific niches or subjects such as teaching for exams, the IELTS you may have heard before, or business English, anything like that. And then, of course, if you are just looking at gaining that bit of experience, but you don't want to quit your day job, you have kids, life is a bit crazy, online is perfect. You can set your own schedule. It's very, very flexible. So this is ideal. You're not tied down to set hours. Okay. As I said before, you can teach the topics that you are comfortable with. You're going at your own pace, which I think is a nice way to start as opposed to teaching for a school. Okay. I have a couple of recommendations there, guys. I'm going to pop in the group chat. So just a couple of organizations I've divided there by voluntary opportunities and then paid opportunities. Okay. So really, depending on your preference and how you do want to get started, these platforms, these websites have a very open hiring criteria. Okay. So it's definitely worth giving a shot and a play. So I'm just gonna pop it in the group chat there, guys. I hope everyone can see them. So myself, I have worked for Preply in the past. And Cambly and Italki, very similar format, really. They are essentially a marketplace for English teachers. So you're creating your own profile and you're advertising your offerings, and they will have a student base there, but they will approach you individually. And as I said, you can set your own rate of pay, your own hours, so it's super flexible. It's really great. I kind of did. I did that when I was teaching full time in a classroom. So then in the evenings, if I had a few hours free, I could do that on the side as well, earn a bit of extra income. Right. If you do, we can email this to you as well if you want to take note of these websites. And then when it comes to voluntary, so of course you won't be paid for this. But I think some people like the idea of this as well because it sort of takes the pressure off you. It's a different approach for sure, but it could suit you better. Um, for example, I did volunteer for RefuNet, which is absolutely fantastic charity, where you would be a volunteer teacher to refugees and asylum seekers. So again, it would be quite casual, conversational English. So probably, could be less intimidating than maybe the paid opportunities as well. Any questions there, guys? Pop them in. I'll just have a quick glance to see. So I do have one question there. Do you think freelancing can be one of the best solutions for you? Freelancing as an online English teacher is a great way to be your own boss, set your own rates, and be in charge of your own schedule. Um, I think it's kind of subjective, really, what is the best path. There is contract work as well online. So you have a fixed rate of pay, you have contracted hours. Typically, they're going to ask for a year or two of experience and a bachelor's degree as well. So I usually wouldn't say recommend it as the first port of call as a new teacher, but certainly a lot of people have. Absolutely. Um, but that would be my preference, probably freelancing first. Yeah, definitely. Another question there from Daria. Is the 240-hour Master TEFL course accredited? If so, by whom? Is it recognized in companies worldwide? Great question. I might just tie this back into teaching online if you don't mind. Um, this is a fantastic qualification, Daria, for teaching online because not only do you get the base qualification of the 120 hour, which will tick the boxes for hiring requirements, you will also get additional specialist courses. So, as I said before, in regards to teaching a niche, so IELTS or business English, maybe it's something down the line that you'd look into, but you would actually have that covered in the 240-hour course. So it really goes into a deep dive. Now, these are micro credentials, okay? So it's more resting on the subject matter as opposed to qualifications in that necessarily. But the 120-hour base foundational course is an accredited qualification, so which is recognized worldwide by employers. So you have no issue getting jobs with it. Okay. Any other questions there, guys, before I move on? All right. Okay, I'm going to move on to now, guys. Teaching abroad. I know a lot of you have said that you are interested in line, but I just wanted to quickly cover, as I said before, the idea of internships. What are they? What do they offer? If you are ready to take on the classroom, what can you do? So obviously when it comes to an internship, it really is what it says on the tin. You are interning as a teacher. Sometimes it can be unpaid, sometimes it can be paid, but I think the idea is not the salary and saving money, but it's actually just about gaining the experience and getting training. So of course, the advantage of getting doing an internship is you are getting real first-hand experience. Um, I mean, goes out saying it's excellent for your CV to get that real experience. You're also fully supported on your training journey. So if you are applying for jobs independently, there's absolutely no guarantee that they will provide initial training, orientation, and induction in the school. A lot of internships, you will have a mentor with you or a co-teacher, which is really a huge benefit. And I think, as myself, I started my career with a TEFL internship because I wasn't ready to do it solo. And it was really a great way for me to gain experience in the TEFL industry as well. And additionally, you're learning from other teachers too, and you're getting observed feedback as an intern, constantly being monitored and getting that really, really valuable feedback that you do need. So I just want to take you through two opportunities that we do have, guys, with us. If you are looking at doing an internship on a voluntary basis, we do run a fantastic program in Thailand. It's in a place called Hua Hin. It is a beautiful beach resort, only about over 2 hours outside of Bangkok. So it is really idyllic. If you are looking for the experience behind me, I would go to Hua Hin. So it's an opportunity as well where you can make a really big difference in people's lives. It's solely volunteering, it's not paid, but you will be working in a local public primary school or kindergarten, so with young kids. But it's a super fun job as well because you're really coming in as a fun English teacher, playing lots of games and activities. And you will be doing, kind of usual hours, 8 to 4, Monday to Friday. And you may get different ages as well. So it's really great to kind of expand your portfolio of different age ranges that you might be teaching as well to get that experience under your belt. And again, you could have, class groups up to 30 students. So really fantastic experience in classroom management as well. Additionally, as well with this program, which is quite unique from other programs you may see, is that you can get involved in NGOs as well. So you could be volunteering at the pet shelter there as well. You could be teaching English to monks as well. So it's really very varied. But I'm in love with this program. It's a fantastic opportunity. If you do want to start off by volunteering and getting that experience. Additionally, as well, you'll have your accommodation covered, and they will help you get a volunteering visa. Also, there's a great orientation on how to become a volunteer. And of course, we will provide you with 120 hours of TEFL training as well. So you'll be all absolutely set up. In terms of requirements, they are actually quite minimal as you are a volunteer. We do just ask that you are in good physical and mental health. You are the age between 18 to 60. Okay, so there's a nice range there. If you do kind of vary outside this bracket, you can let us know and we'll double check if you are eligible. Obviously, to have a high level of English, speaking and written. A clean criminal background goes without saying for our programs. And the best thing is no degree is required. So there is that challenge sometimes of going over to Asia, typically Thailand, trying to obtain paid work in Thailand without a degree is going to be very difficult. But if you can get your foot in the door and start volunteering in Thailand, it's a fantastic opportunity because they will not ask you for a bachelor's degree. All right. So you can sign up to our website there, guys, for that program. Intakes are November of this year and May next year. Is there any questions there, guys, before I move on? I can see a nice question there from me. Fantastic. I love to see them coming in. So Nadia asked, do you need a degree to teach, and how would I get a job after my course as an online teacher? Mm. This is a really common question I get. Do I need a degree to teach? A lot of the time, this degree requirement can be linked to visas. So it's much easier to obtain work online. Sometimes there can be an educational preference, of course, as in any job in any industry, that you have a university degree. But the short answer is no. It's not a requirement for every teaching job. You can still obtain work without a degree. Okay, great question there. Do you have support in South Africa in terms of where to intern or volunteer, or one needs to arrange this privately? As I said, we do have really great programs, such as this one here in Thailand, that they do accept South African passport holders as well. So absolutely inquire. Or if you are looking for just additional guidance or advice, we can provide that to you as well if you get in touch. Absolutely, yeah. Another question there. Are there any other volunteering positions in other locations, Europe or Asia? Yeah, I'm actually going to dive into Europe now. But in terms of volunteering experiences in general, our jobs board as well. If you search on jobs board, guys, there's loads of volunteering opportunities across the world. Yeah, absolutely. Okay. Perfect. Is there a link to for volunteering? Yeah, perfect. I'll just get actually my colleague Olivia there to pop in the link for you guys so you can sign up and get a bit more information about the program as well. Um, so good question there from Deborah. What if I already have my 120-hour cert and don't need another one in Thailand? If you are referring to our programs, our placement programs, Deborah, that's absolutely fine. You don't need to do the 120-hour again, or if it's from another provider, absolutely no problem. You can still sign on. Question there from Kevin. Which countries have the most marketing for jobs? Hmm. If I have your question right, are you referring to the largest amount of vacancies per country? Um, I think typically you'll probably be looking at Asia there. The demand is massive. And usually Europe, yes, absolutely. But as you can imagine, they have a kind of closer source of native English speaking teachers in Europe than they would in Asia. Okay, I'm going to quickly move on there, guys, to Europe. And I'm just going to speak about a bit about becoming a classroom assistant. We do offer a program in Spain, okay, where you are going to be assuming the role of a language assistant. Um, so you are again going to be kind of like the fun English teacher, particularly here for this opportunity. And a lot of the time in Spain, you know, if you're going here, it will be younger learners, teenagers, that kind of age, where the greatest demand for teachers is. Okay, and typically as well, there's going to be huge focus on improving their conversation. All right, so you may not get into the nitty gritty of grammar with this program. It is going to be, you're going to be a conversational teacher, really. What I love about this program is you get a personal mentor by your side who is going to help you through drawing up all your lesson plans, helping you with classroom management, anything you need, they will be there, which I think is hugely beneficial as a new teacher. Um, Yeah, again, in terms of ages, it can vary from infants, primary to secondary. They may have some vacancies in technical colleges as well. So again, a nice varied experience for you. Just to note there as well, guys, for this particular program, it is in Catalonia. So the capital there is Barcelona. So you'd probably be in that city or surrounding area. So a fantastic location, no doubt. Um, yeah, and in terms of teaching hours, in general, if you're going to be a teaching or language assistant, you'd probably be looking at their 20 hours a week, usually voluntary. so unpaid. Um, so it's not the usually high hours, but it is fantastic because you do have that free time as well to enjoy your time in Spain. And to get in your lesson planning, because as a new teacher, you really do have to accommodate for longer hours of lesson planning because it is going to be all new to you. So this is a great opportunity. For this program in particular, your accommodation is free. It is a homestay accommodation. So you're staying with a family, particularly a family of the children that attend the school. So this is a full immersion program, okay? You will have authentic Spanish meals, do activities with the family, even a little language exchange, learn a bit of Spanish, they learn a bit of English. Um, everything will be provided for you in terms of laundry, transport, everything is covered. So it's really quite seamless. All you need to worry about is your lesson planning and teaching there. Additionally, we do offer online culture courses as well with this. So you get the full lowdown on Spanish culture and the language beforehand. In terms of requirements, just because of the nature of the immersion program and staying with the host family, typically the profile would be teachers aged between 20 to 30. Okay. And typically you would need to be a passport holder from either UK, Ireland, Canada, Australia, US, or New Zealand. If you're outside this bracket, pop us an email and we'll look into it and try to accommodate this. As I said before, no degree is needed. A lot of the time in Spain, they're not looking for a degree. Obviously, it's always a preference. But if you have that TEFL certification going in, it's a fantastic start. Okay. So really the minimum there is that you completed high school, okay, secondary school. All right. Any other questions there, guys? I'll just have a check and see. Perfect. I'll just get Olivia there to pop in the links for you if you do want to have a look, get a bit more information about the programs, sign up. I'm not sure if I said it, but the intake is this September. Okay. We do run them as well next year as well. So you can get in touch if you are interested in doing 2025. But the upcoming intake is September and it is for, apologies, I never said, it's for 8 to 10 weeks. And the Thailand program is for 12 weeks. Okay. So it's a short-term opportunity, which is perfect. If you're not looking at more longer term opportunity. You're not looking to make a huge commitment yet. You just want to gain a bit of experience. These programs are absolutely perfect. Okay, I'll just have a quick look there, guys, to see if there's any other questions. Feel free to shout them out as well, guys. Um, so I have a question there. Are there any opportunities which prefer older volunteers? Yeah, actually, the Thailand program, as I was saying, they take candidates up to the age of 60. If you are older, you can inquire as well, and we can see if you're a good fit. But generally speaking, there's not a huge age restriction there because you are a volunteer, you're not working. So Abigail says, I have a 180-hour TEFL and bachelor's degree. Been applying to different Asian countries since April, but no success yet. Oh dear. So many people say there's lots of opportunities in Asia, but not sure why I'm struggling then. That's a really great question. It's a fantastic start that you have the 180 hour and a bachelor's degree as well. There can be a lot of factors, Abigail. If you are popping through your CV and cover letter, maybe it needs a bit of tweaking, which we can help with. As an enrolled student, you have full access to our recruitment support. So if you would like us to review your CV, give you a bit of feedback, on your cover letter, we can help with this as well and see maybe there's something you're not highlighting that would make you a fantastic teacher or that they can see your potential as well. So feel free to send it over, Abigail, at any stage. So I have another question there. What is the minimum requirement to teach business English besides degree? Are lesson plans provided? In terms of lesson plans provided, I'm not sure if you're referring to online or if you're talking about abroad. Um, Again, it just depends on the employer, the provider, if they want you to follow a certain curriculum, or if you're feel free to be able to, you are free to plan your own lessons. It really depends on the employer. But if you are looking at the business English curriculum, you're thinking, where do I start? Our specialist courses are actually fantastic for that. So they'll give you a breakdown of what needs to be covered when you are teaching business English. So I definitely recommend signing up to those courses to give you a better idea. But actually, a lot of the time, oh, you're referring to online. Perfect, thanks. A lot of the time, if you are looking at online particularly, they'll probably have something in mind already that they want to cover. So they'll come to you with their English goals. So they'll say, look, I just want to be able to write emails to my boss without getting fired. Or, I want to be able to speak up at meetings, but my English isn't quite there. You're able to cater your lessons to them as well, okay? Yeah, Elizabeth says there, how can I ask for help in reviewing CVs and cover letters? Yeah, just pop us an email. That's it, Elizabeth. Yeah, absolutely. So pop us a copy of your CV and we can provide you with feedback. Great. So super guys, we are going to have a Q&A session at the end. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to pass you over to Olivia now, who's going to dive a bit more into the training that we can provide to you if you're not exactly interested in working just yet and you still want to get that experience. And for any questions we haven't addressed, we will get to it at the end. So don't worry, okay? Perfect. All right, Olivia.
Hello guys, how is everyone doing? So I'll just be chatting a little bit about our 10-hour virtual course. So you might be asking, is there another way to gain TEFL experience apart from doing a volunteering program? And the answer is yeah. So we do have a great alternative, which is our 10-hour virtual course. This is a great way to gain that virtual teaching practice and to boost your confidence. And the best thing is that there is absolutely no previous experience required to do this course. So just to give you a little insight on what is the virtual course. So it is an interactive online TEFL course that is delivered live by our experienced TEFL tutors. And you will gain a lot of great tips from our tutors and become a more confident classroom leader. So the course is usually split over 2 days with 3.5 hour Zoom sessions each day. And then you get 3 hours of personal study time at the end of day one. So to bring you through the modules a little bit. So on day one, we do an introduction to teaching practices. And this covers a little bit on classroom management, effective verbal communication. They do some icebreakers, and you will also be working a little bit in groups as well. So then on day two, you will be putting all that theory into practice that you've learned on day one. So you will be teaching.
Oh, sorry, I think you
Guys, I
just got
think
on mute
there's.
there for a second.
That's okay, no problem.
You're back. You're back.
Yeah. So what I was just saying is just on day two then. So you would be putting all your theory into practice that you have learned on day one. So you would be doing a little presentation in groups of two. You will be teaching 4 different skills, which are listening, speaking, reading, and writing. You will be doing a little bit on grammar awareness and pronunciation. So
And
then you might ask yourself,
is
yes,
what is the groups as well? You were saying, is it small groups typically for the virtual course?
yeah, so for the virtual course, there usually is 12 people.
Mm.
And then when you're doing your presentation on day two, you'll be put into groups of 2 to do the presentation together. Yeah.
That's
So,
nice.
so then you might ask yourself, should I do this course? Are there any benefits of doing this course? And of course there are. So one of the biggest benefits personally that I think is that it really, really does boost your confidence to go into the teaching world, as it does give you that experience. And you will also be getting great feedback from the tutor and the peers that you will be alongside with doing the course. Another thing is that it'll look great, really impressive on your CV, and it will make you
Absolutely.
stand out in the job market. And then another great thing is that you will be putting what you've learned into practice, which is really, really important
Yeah,
as
I think
you'll
especially after doing the 120, for example. Yeah,
exactly, yeah, as
yeah.
those skills will stay fresh in your mind then.
Mm.
And then it's also a great preparation and a confidence boost for any upcoming demo lessons or interviews that you may have.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, 100% recommend this course,
It's
guys.
true. I think even if
Yeah.
you're teaching online, they might ask you, can you provide a demo lesson? And
Yeah.
you've never, been on camera or, done that practice. I think this is great for it as well.
Yeah, 100%. So now just to go through our sessions, guys. So our sessions are very, very flexible. We usually provide 2 to 3 courses a month, and you can choose a time that works best for you. We usually do the courses on Wednesdays and Thursdays. We have courses on Saturdays and Sundays. And we provide courses in the morning, afternoon time, and evening time. So it is really flexible to suit your schedules. And if anybody is interested, our next session coming up is Saturday and Sunday, 27th and 28th of July. And the one after that would be Wednesday, the 7th of August and Thursday, the 8th of August. I'll also pop some links into the chat and you can have a look at our website yourselves and go through the course if you need any more information.
Mm. Yeah, and usually we have the time differences as well, don't we, on the website
Yeah,
if you're
correct.
not GMT time. Yeah, perfect. That's crucial to get the time right. Yeah, fantastic. Thanks so much, Olivia. Yeah, as she said there, guys, it's a great stepping stone. If you are, as is going back to the demo lessons and the interviews, if you end up landing a job and they say, great, do you have time for an interview next week? Or can you do a demonstration lesson tomorrow? And you're thinking, oh my God, I'm not. This is fantastic opportunity. And
Yeah.
as Olivia was saying, to add it to your CV, that you have observed teaching practice, you got feedback, it's absolutely priceless. So thanks, Olivia. Um, super, and she has the links in there, guys, if you do want more information. Um, so we're going to finish off there, guys, with any additional questions you do have. I'll just have a quick check there to see on our chat anything else. I think there's one question there. I think it's referring to the virtual course. At what point during your modules should you do it? I'm not sure what that's referring to there. If someone could clarify, if they asked that question, if they just clarify there on what they meant by their question. But as Olivia said, the modules itself, you are covering them. So you have 2 3.5 hour sessions, which makes up 7 contact hours. And then in between, that night in between, you'd be preparing you'd be doing personal study, preparing for your demo lesson. Okay. Elizabeth says she's already done it and it was a nice and useful experience. There you go. Yeah, absolutely. We have some fantastic reviews, I think, Olivia, don't we, from
Yeah,
the virtual. They just
100%.
keep coming in every
Yeah.
day. Yeah. So with our tutors, Michelle and everything, it's been really positive. So it's great to see. Um, yeah, perfect. Question there. Where do you look for conversational English opportunities online? Yeah, so usually, so the links that I sent previously there about paid opportunities, a lot of English learners will go to those marketplaces, those freelancing platforms for conversational English, typically because if you're looking at contract work online, there's usually a set curriculum that the student will have to follow. So doing those freelance classes are kind of more open to, the student being able to express their goals and what they want to focus on specifically, much more one-to-one tailored lessons. Okay. Oh, great. We have a question here on the virtual course. So the virtual 10-hour course, I'm doing the 180-hour course. I paid for the 10-hour. Just want to know, should I do it anytime or at the end of the 10 modules? Okay, I understand your question. Sorry about that. Yes, so the 10-hour can be done at any stage. I believe that's right, Olivia, isn't it? You can do
That's
the 10
correct. Yeah.
hour. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So is there kind of a preference, do you think, Olivia, or
I don't
would it
think so,
matter?
no, because usually you don't even need to have a TEFL certificate to do the course. It's
Yeah.
just a way of getting experience.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. It's really, I think, up to the student themselves what
Yeah.
you prefer. Yeah, I mean, it probably could be better to have the theory prior to doing the practice. But it's up to yourselves, really, guys. Um, yeah. And how about the warm-up activities? Do you have any suggestions for these 3 hour classes? Yeah, usually in terms of tips, be prepared, we do send you on beforehand a handbook and guides that you need to read through. So I'd recommend printing those off, have them ready, have any questions ready for our tutors. They're there, ready to take any questions you have and any advice that you do need. But yeah, perfect. So guys, we're approaching the end there. If you are missing any information, your question wasn't covered, you can email us at any stage at all, book a call back, connect on live chat, everything. You can connect in any channel with us, and we will happily answer your questions and go into more depth as well. As I said at the start of the webinar, guys, we do want to give you that gift of a free lesson guide. So please feel free to leave us a lovely review mentioning my name, Jessica, and Olivia, and how you got on with this webinar. Email us a screenshot or a photo of the review to see that it's published. Email it to us and we will send you your free guide straight away. So I'm just going to pop in the link and the steps there again. So feel free to leave us a review, guys. I'm going to wrap it up there soon, guys, because we actually have our tutor support session soon after this as well for our students. So I just want to finish off by saying thank you so much for everyone for attending and listening, and the interaction was absolutely fantastic. Just want to thank my colleague Olivia for joining us today, speaking more about the 10-hour course, and hope everyone has a fantastic week. Thank you so much.
Thanks so
Thank
much,
you.
guys.